Bigger is better. At least that's what the Americans will tell you. And I guess Revell and Monogram too. Hey guys, it's model making time, and today we're looking at this! The B-36 Peacemaker from Revell, originally Monogram, but we'll get into that with the kit story. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating guys, this thing is huge. The world's largest plastic model kit. At least it was at the time it came out anyway. Because now we live in a world where there's an AN225 model kit. What? Though I think that might be part resin. I could be wrong, but this probably isn't the biggest plastic model kit anymore by a long shot. But that's how it was released. Now this video is more of an unboxing. I want to see if you guys really want me to build this. So if you want to see this built, make sure you first of all subscribe to the channel. Secondly, leave a like on this video. And thirdly, leave a comment down below telling me that you want to see this model built, because that's how we're gonna judge whether or not I actually built this kit. I mean, I kind of have to because this kit wasn't the cheapest, but you know, I just had to get it. It's such a weird aircraft, I love it. Because we're not building it today, we're only going to go into sort of a really brief summary of the aircraft itself, but we will still do the kit story and then we'll go into the unboxing, which I'm really excited to show you guys because this is just such an unusual kit that you don't really see too much. So on that note, I guess let's just go into a brief summary of the aircraft. So the B-36 is a really unique aircraft coming out of the tails of World War II. This was designed to supersede aircraft like the B-29 Superfortress. This, being a nuclear bomber, you think would be quite similar, you know, designed to replace it, but actually it dwarfs the B-29. Like literally, when you see the picture of these two aircraft together, it's staggering how small the B-29 looks in comparison. It's like having a Spitfire or Hurricane next to a Lancaster. The B-36 also has a really unique design, with 6 engines driving propellers, which are also rear mounted, so they're a pusher configuration, but then also 4 jet engines, 2 on each of the wings, because I guess you just need more power? To top it off, the B-36 also had a nuclear-powered variant. It really never flew under nuclear power itself, but the reactor was installed, was powered up on a number of flights, enough so that they tested whether or not it would be survivable for the crew to fly within. It was. Not so great to have a giant flying nuclear reactor in the sky, but that's beside the point. This thing would potentially fly forever. The B-36 wouldn't last forever though, with aircraft like the B-52, but also just generally the advancement to jet aircraft leading to its obsolescence. But that's something we'll talk about, I guess, more when we do the actual building, which, if we're going to do that, I need to make sure that you guys want to see it. So like the video, share it where you can, and leave a comment down below. You know, help the algorithm, and then you'll get to see me build it. But before we get into the unboxing, let's go and have a look at the kit story, the history of the kit itself. So this kit was originally released in 1980 by Monogram, and that was when it had the wording on it to say that this was the world's biggest, or largest produced plastic model kit ever released. It's kind of interesting because this is an aircraft that I don't think is really in the public zeitgeist anymore, but apparently it was enough to just it be a massive plane for Monogram to think it needed to be released. And it saw quite a few releases, to be honest. It was released again in 1989 and 1991, all under the Monogram name. I will say I think the second box art or the first one are my favourite, but sadly we will never see them again. We then saw a release in 1997 under the Revell Monogram branding. Yeah, it's that period where Revell and Monogram were one thing. Revell just has a complicated history, but don't we all? Interestingly, this was skill level 2. Okay, looking at the instructions, I kind of get it, but also like, it's a huge kit, so like, okay. It was released again in the 2000s under the Revell Monogram moniker, and then it was bumped back to a skill level 3, which is where I think it just stayed. Now, Revell Europe or Revell Germany released the kit in 2002. with a skill rating of 5 that was released in 2009, and this was the last release of this kit. That was under the Monogram moniker again, and that had the box art from the 2000s, which was like fine. In fact, to be honest, the Revell and the Revell Monogram boxings all had just very mediocre artwork, which I think is such a shame for such a unique aircraft. It's also a shame that the nuclear variant never had its own version. It has a slightly different nose, so it would have been cool to see that, but I guess you can probably make a conversion easy enough. I don't know, I haven't looked at the parts enough yet. I guess we'll see in the unboxing, right? As this was a Monogram release, it also dipped back down to a skill level 3. So we've now had 2, 3, and 5. I'm not sure how realistic it is that we'll ever see this kit released again. It's been quite a substantial time without any releases, and quite often you don't see them for quite a long time. It's also a question of who has the molds now. Is it America or is it in Europe? Because Revell in Europe seem to just release anything at any time, so who knows? Maybe they'll release it again, but I don't know. These kits do go for quite a lot of money at this point, just I guess whilst we're talking about the history of the kits. So they go from anywhere from like 80 up to like £150. I got mine for somewhere in that range. I just kind of got it because I really wanted to build one, and I regret never getting one as a kid when they were much easier and more affordable, and I figured the price is only going to go up if they never release them, so might as well grab one whilst I have the opportunity and I'm financially able to. But yeah, I would probably say this isn't something you just want to pick up for the sake of it. It's not the cheapest kit, but I think it's worth it. You do get a lot of bang for your buck, even these days. Like, you can build something that's like half the size for more of the cost, so, you know, swings and roundabouts like us. Cool. We're about to go into the unboxing, so if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, make sure to like the video and leave a comment below about how excited you are to see me build the kit. For once, I'm being a bit more of a professional YouTuber and making sure I ask you all to do this, because it's really important. If you guys want to see something built, I need to know from you guys, because obviously modelling takes quite a long time, and I want to make sure that the projects I do are ones you want to see, especially when it's something this weird. The B-36, one of the biggest model kits ever made, and this is the box, and you can tell already how huge this thing is. Now, I bought mine obviously second hand because it's not made anymore, and this is how it came. Hopefully you can tell this came pretty much as it would have done from the factory, I think, and these giant fuselage halves are, well, they're pretty big. Now, the length of the B-36 is not quite as long as that's Concorde, however its width is even bigger than its length, so it is a giant aircraft. Now, the raised panel details are probably not going to be to most people's taste. It is very much a product of the 80s. I don't mind it too much. This is such a giant aircraft that, to be honest, most of the details are probably going to get lost anyway, and I'm hoping I can use the sort of colouring of the panels to obscure a lot of it. The inside of the box has only a couple of sprues actually, considering the size of it. It's made of a lot of big parts. The propellers are massive and split over a couple of different sprues. The wing sections come in halves and they go together quite nicely, and you can see the indent for where the jet engine will go. There's a lot of guns as well on this, because obviously this has a lot of turrets, so be prepared for them, and obviously you get a lot of bombs to shove inside the aircraft too, which is a nice touch. Whether or not I'll use them, I don't know. This sprue seems to be a lot of engine parts, including the jet engines. Obviously there are 4 engines in total, well, basically in 2 underhanging nacelles from each of the wings, or each side of the wings I guess, depending on how you view it. The wheels are also giant in this kit, and there's a lot of them, so be prepared to see a lot more of them as we go through the sprues. Again, the detail is somewhat minimal. The overall look of the aircraft does seem quite simple. I'm not too concerned about putting this together because it does seem everything is quite simple to put together. I wonder if they'll get any moving parts on the wings when it's put together, but we'll see. This wing is exactly the same, except obviously inside the wings we have some of the figures that come with the aircraft. There's a lot of crew inside the B-36, as we'll find out when we do the actual video on it. More propellers, and also the landing gear section and the inside of the aircraft. The inside looks really detailed, and I'm excited to put this together and see if I can make it look really nice. Maybe I'll include some electrics. I don't know, I've never done that before and it seems quite scary. But overall, I think this looks really nice.
Again, it's quite simple, but once it's all together and all inside and under that glazing, I'm sure it'll look fabulous. The tail section, this is sort of the rear control surfaces rather than the vertical surface, and again they're giant. Like, I cannot stress how much this aircraft is just huge. I kind of regret it in a sense because I've gone from building Concorde to this, but we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of supporting sections you can see. I think that's what those ring sections are. They'll be for the inside of the aircraft, probably behind the cockpit and then further on, and that giant bar you saw earlier I think was to support the wings. Whether or not this aircraft has Boeing wings, I'm a bit nervous about, so we're going to have to see how it goes. The clear sections are quite nice. I've put these straight back in a bag afterwards because they're going to be hard to replace if I break them. And, well, it's quite nervous having all of these. However, I did have something that we'll see in a moment that will help me, that came as part of mine. It doesn't come in the set, but it came with the one I bought because it's second hand, and obviously someone was planning to make this. And that's this, a masking set. Very excited, never used a masking set before, but I would definitely be using it on this one because this is terrifying. If I get a part wrong, I'm a bit screwed. Now the decals, as you can tell, are quite worn. Whether or not I'll need to buy some new ones will only be told once I actually start cutting these out. Generally, decals will wear quite well, and these are about 20 years old probably at this point. About 22 to 23 years by the time I actually start making them, so it's anyone's guess whether these will be okay. Given that the colour tends to be as it should be, and there's sort of just discoloration around where the decal is, I think it's just the paper itself that's discoloured, and hopefully that means that the decals will come off okay, but it does mean they are a lot more prone to breakage, so I may end up just buying some new ones. So yeah, the instructions are relatively simple and I'm not too worried about this, and it seems like this kit is quite simple to put together, but then I said that on Concorde and then I had some massive issues with Concorde, so we will see how this goes. Hopefully I will make less of a mess of this than I did Concorde, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the unboxing, guys. It's quite a nerve-wracking kit. It seems like it should go together quite quickly. It'll be one of those things I think that I've wanted the cockpits built and that's kind of it. Then it's just sort of put everything together and it's done. There's just a lot of clear parts all the way through the construction that I am very, very nervous about.
Well, what do you think? Do you think this kit looks worth building? I certainly think it does. It seems weirdly simple given its size, but I guess that's because most of it is on the inside and you're never going to see it. I really just love the prop configuration on this, being sort of a 6-engine pusher configuration that later on had the jet engines added to it too. I think this could look really cool. I'm not sure which version I want to build yet. There's 2 that you can build in the box, and I need to decide which one I'm doing. I'm hoping the decals are gonna be okay, but you never know with age. I have found somewhere online where I can buy some more should I need to, but hoping not to because already enough on this. There are a lot of post kit accessories that I could get, and I guess if there's enough interest in this, then maybe I will buy some extra things to jazz this kit up, because I'm only ever going to build this once. And I mean, it's quite simple in terms of me actually finishing the plane, because it's all one colour. It's just then weathering afterwards. So I think I can do well with this kit. I just need to make sure that you guys want to see it, because it is quite a big time investment. I was thinking maybe I'll do this as a stream build, because that's how I did Concorde, which, for all its flaws, well, you'll have to watch the video and that comes out soon to see what I really think of that. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. If you also want to join a lovely community of fellow model makers, make sure to join the Discord. The link is in the description below, and that's where you can just talk about what you're building and just have a general chinwag about model making. There's also a forum style to it, so you can share your latest build reports and also just your ongoing progress. So I'll hopefully see you there soon. Finally, if you want to support the channel a bit more, you can do so in a few ways. I do have a Ko-fi, but I think the best way to help support the channel is to become a channel member. You can do that just for a month if you wanted to, but also you can do it on a monthly basis. The memberships aren't too expensive. I have 2 levels. I have a starter kit and advanced kit level members. The only difference is advanced kit level members get their name shouted out at the end of each video. It's done on a monthly basis, so it will change from month to month, but yeah, that's how you can really help support the channel. Well, thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm really excited that we got to have a look at this magnificent kit. I genuinely, for ages, never thought I'd get to see one, and the last one I saw before this one that I ended up buying, I saw on eBay and I tried to get it and it went for just like slightly too much above my budget. So I'm really happy that I've got one and I've been able to share it with you, and I'm so hyped that we'll get to build it together. Well, if you guys make it happen. See you later. Bye!
Thank you so much to all of my channel members. Whether you're a starter kit or advanced kit level member, you help keep this channel alive. A special shout out goes to my advanced kit level members, including Dafty Duck, Buff and Genevieve Albridge, David Barber, Taggers365, Jeff's Dioramas, Iron Duke, and my longest time subscribers, or at least at this tier, Explosive Water and Crazy Loacher. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here today, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and there's a recommended video here just for you, so why don't you go check it out? Come on, let's go.